Welcome friends. In this video we are going to look at combustion in engines. So the question reads, the exhaust fumes from an external combustion engine contain the pollutant gases carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. Now let's first see if we can have a simple picture. So we have let's say this is the engine. Now the importance of the engine, it is there to produce the force. Why do we need the force? So the force is there to make the wheels to spin so that we have the movement. Now if we look at this, there is a lot of work done, so we are going to expect to have work done. Now for work to be done, we know that energy, according to science, must be there. Now which substance in car engines is there to produce energy? So we have the fuel. That's why fuel is defined as a substance that can burn to produce the energy that is needed for work to be done. Now, as the engine is running, there are waste gases that are produced, and among these waste gases, some of these are considered to be harmful. And examples, we are given carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide, then also nitrogen dioxide, then apart from nitrogen dioxide, we may have ethane. So this one may also be, even sometimes we may have sulfur dioxide as also part of the waste product. Now we know that cars are needed, but now how do we minimize the release of these waste products into the air? Because if they are allowed freely to go into the air, they may damage the environment, of which we may have maybe the change in temperature or the acidic rain plus too much inhalation of carbon monoxide may cause fatigue in human beings. Now there should be something that is made in cars that should reduce, not getting rid of all, but reducing of the amount of these waste gases. So here now we have this, the exhaust pipe, and this is just the outlet of these waste gases that we are looking at here. Now before the gases have been expelled, they have to pass through what we call the catalytic converter. Now what is the work of this catalytic converter? It's there to just make these harmful gases to be less harmful. So this is a converter, and as we can hear, catalytic, so it contains some catalysts that assist into these reactions. Then whenever these gases passes through the catalytic converter, then they may be converted into gases that are less harmful to the environment. So that is the importance of this converter. Now since we have looked at the diagram of this and trying to come up with a picture, now let's look at question A. Many vehicles have a catalytic converter fitted on their exhaust system. Then question A, describe the chemical reaction which occur in the catalytic converter to reduce the emission of carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. So what happens is during combustion, the engine will produce gases such as carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. Now when these gases are passing through this tube, they have to pass through the converter before being expelled. Now what the converter does, for carbon monoxide, the carbon monoxide must be oxidized into carbon dioxide. So the gas that we are going to expect to have here is carbon dioxide, which is at least less harmful to human being, but though it's still a dangerous gas. Then for nitrogen dioxide, this one will be reduced to nitrogen as an elemental gas and the carbon dioxide as a waste. So to summarize the point, we are looking at the reduction and oxidation reaction. So these are the reactions that occurs in catalytic converters to help to change the harmful gases into less harmful gases. So we'll say these are reduction and the oxidation reaction which converts harmful gases into less harmful. So that's a concept that we have here. Now we move on to Roman number 2. And now Roman number 2, write a balanced chemical equation for one of the reactions that occurs in the catalytic converter. Right, so let's use for, okay, let's see, we can write maybe 2 or 3. Right, so the first one, we have this carbon monoxide. This carbon monoxide will undergo oxidation. So carbon oxidize, so say oxygen, then it will give us carbon dioxide as the waste product. So carbon monoxide is CO, which is a gas, plus oxygen. Then we have CO2 as the carbon dioxide. Then to balance we can put a 2 here and also a 2 here, then a 2 here, so that this equation is balanced. Then the other one we can use let's say nitrogen monoxide plus this one will react with carbon monoxide. Then to give us nitrogen plus carbon dioxide. So the nitrogen monoxide is this plus CO. Then we have nitrogen gas plus carbon dioxide. Then to balance, we can just put where so we put a 2 here. Then if we put a 2 here, we also put a 2 here. Then we put a 2 here. So our equation is now balanced. So these are equations that we can look at. Or sometimes since a fuel such as petrol is in liquid form, so some of the gases that may be produced from this combustion of liquid petrol may be ethane. So we may have ethane, and we need to apply now the concept of organic chemistry. You know that ethane can undergo combustion to produce carbon dioxide and water. So if you are to ask to write the chemical weight equation about one of the organic gases, so the concept is it will combust to produce carbon dioxide and water. Now we move on to question B. Briefly explain the effects of carbon monoxide on the human being. So we'll say if a large amount of carbon monoxide is inhaled, the gas will bind to the hemoglobin, and reduces the ability to transport oxygen. So that's the effect. So whenever this gas enters the blood, it reacts or bind to the red blood cells, which is the hemoglobin. When that is done, then the ability of this hemoglobin to transport oxygen is affected, and without oxygen we are expected to have fatigue, we will have confusion, then headache, even dizziness. So we can just say it may cause suffocation. Then question C, suggest 2 other ways of minimizing pollution of the air by these 2 gases other than using a catalytic converter. So we can reduce this by using, so say by using unleaded. So unleaded petrol is the one where the products does not produce too much of these waste products. Then the other thing is by just servicing the car engine frequently. So these are ways in which we can reduce. So a question like this one, you need to just apply the knowledge of combustion, then the waste product with that. So it doesn't matter whether they have just mentioned vehicle, maybe if that is mentioned, then the question becomes hard. No. So the whole concept was about the combustion, the reduction and oxidation processes, how we can reduce, then how this oxidation and reduction can take place. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.